we are officially launching the book, The To Be Woman. I'm so grateful to the author, to God, for launching this book at this very time, because it is important that many of us acquaint ourselves with some of the things we need to know prior to getting married or childbearing. Getting this book for you will really help you a great deal. It's really going to help you, and I can't wait for your testimonies. I can't wait for your reviews. And yes, of course, we have amazing people in our midst that are going to speak to us as well. There are a series of questions that maybe say our minds. We've taken our time to merge questions together. We've brought in questions from different angles, different thought perspectives, and we have people, amazing people, who are going to be answering for us, because like I said, I am here to learn. I don't know about you. Without wasting much of our time, I would like to introduce the few people here before I call on the author to come and speak officially to us. Yes. So we have in our midst, are you ready? Are you ready? We have in our midst Mrs. Queen. Please, let's put our hands together for her. Let's do that. Let's do that. She's here. Please, you can see her beautiful face. Mrs. Queen is here. Say hi, ma. Say hi to the camera. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming, ma. Thank you so much for coming. And also, we have Miss Best. We have Miss Best here. We have Miss Best. I don't want to obstruct anybody. I want everyone to see the amazing people that are here. So we have Miss Best. Welcome, Miss Best. You're welcome.
Hi.
Good to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to have a swell time.
Ooh, we're going to have a swell time. Did you hear that? Thank you. And also, we have in our midst the beautiful wife of the amazing author of this amazing book. Just put your hands together as I welcome the presence of Mrs. Folashade Mayowa, ESQ. Come on, put your hands together for her.
Thank you. Good morning, guys. I'm happy being here. Thank you so much. I hope you all join us and enjoy this moment with us. We're happy to have you all. Yeah.
Thank you. Like you heard, we are going to have a small time. Without wasting much time, please let's put our hands together for the amazing author. He's an amazing father. He's a business tycoon. He's, oh my God, I can keep going on and on and on and on. Please let's put our hands together for the person of Mr. Temitope Mayowa. Put our hands together for the amazing author as he did to us. What exactly inspired this great book, sir? The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, so still on the book, The To Be Woman, a lot of knowledge that I cannot call public knowledge, though they are supposed to be public knowledge, which if they had been public knowledge, we wouldn't have been recording issues of fatality among women when it comes to conception and childbirth.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the data of UNICEF concerning women that died as a result of giving birth, of conception and all that, stands at a whooping 100,000.
Wow.
100,000 yearly.
Wow.
And
That's huge.
the irony of this is that we as humans are supposed to be advanced. We are supposed to be sophisticated. We are supposed to tick with nature more than animals like goats, dogs, and all those things. But those animals, they somehow have a more soft landing. They somehow have the whole process of giving birth and all that figured out more than us humans, and then that is the more reason why it makes the heart heavy when you are faced with such with such statistics concerning us humans, and more particularly the woman. What should expect.
Yeah.
I'm talking now in the perspective of someone who is maybe a pregnant woman, or someone who is, aspiring to be pregnant at some point in time of life. So when you know what to expect, you somehow just elevate your stance to a dimension where you don't have to worry about some other pitfalls. Take for instance, if I were to be in a car driving and I have a passenger beside me, immediately I hit the brake, you'll notice my passenger react to it by maybe nudging or having a differential in motion positioning.
Yes, exactly.
Whereas the one that matches the brake, which is the driver, will be able to better coordinate himself. That is the difference between someone who is informed, who is aware of what to expect, compared to someone who has virtually no understanding, who is just going into the journey with mere assumptions or hearsays. So I have no doubt that any woman who lays her hand on this content is going to stand a better chance in the journey of conception and childbirth. So I think I'll leave it at that.
What are you waiting for? I love the illustration of the driver matching the brake, the impact on the person compared to the impact of someone else in the car. And that's just how it is in approaching childbearing, in approaching marriage, in approaching parenting. You need to have a prior knowledge about what it entails. We need to prepare our mind. We don't want you to feel the impact excessively galloping when you get to that stage, and that's why this opportunity has come at the right time. Thank you so much, sir. There are questions already that we need to answer, and we are grateful that we have amazing personality here that can do justice to this question. So yes, let's go. Mama, I'm going to be directing this question to you. Let me even direct this one to new moms. Just people did not envisage I've not been there, but I've had my friends, the way, when they give birth and they're like, I've not rested. The baby crying all night, and you look at their face swollen. They have businesses to attend to. They have family, their husband. Because I used to hear, I watch marriage counseling videos, and they say that the advent of childbearing into the marriage should not stop your responsibility to your husband.
Yes.
And honestly, we cannot shy away from the fact that it can be overbearing. Honestly, because you want to take care of your husband, you want to still be pay for him, you want to wear the bum shot and slay like me, and want to be picking remote on the floor with the bum shot, still making sure that my man's eye is on me while I'm also taking care of the child. And so what encouragement, what advice? Because there are some people crying. I've heard of some mothers crying. They'll just wake up at night, they've not rested, their brain is not relaxed, and they'll just be crying, nobody to talk to. There are some people watching us here right now that are also having these pains, I don't know, you from your wealth of experience, man, I know that we are going to get enough. So, ma'am, what do you think? What piece of advice can you give to new moms and mom to be? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Mary Oladele, and I'm a lawyer who practices in Ibadan. Before I proceed to answer your question, I want to sincerely appreciate the author of this book. Number one, because it is a man that has observed.
Exactly.
And because his wife has gone through it, and maybe because of what they went through initially as a new parent, he thought to himself to say, well, there are some other persons that are as confused as we were, as unbalanced as we were, and it is unfair on the society to keep the knowledge they were able to garner alongside while they were growing to themselves. And I think that is the purpose of this book.
Exactly.
And I also want to thank her moderator. She's doing a good job in the sense that she's excited. If anybody, while I was yet to be a mother, if I've seen this kind of program life, and I see somebody who is yet to get married and have a baby this excited, I would want to get this book because it means that she has seen something valuable, that it's not common knowledge out there, and she is going for it. Thank you for your question. The one thing I would advise a new mom is number one, you need all the help you can get.
Ooh.
This, when I said
All.
all,
Somebody
you
should type
need
that. You need all the help.
the help that is available to you.
Wow.
All.
Wow.
There's this thing in Africa where you think, you're a strong woman, I'm a black woman, I can do it. I don't want anybody in my house. I don't want anybody in my house. You don't want anybody in your business. Hello? This is the all new face of your life. So you need all the help. Most of us, when we get married, we tend to keep distance with our friends. We get, when they talk, it's not easy to be a married woman. Every topic you're bringing up, you're married.
Exactly.
Every topic you're
They're preparing us.
And
Preparing us.
And then your friends think, well, she needs space. Let's leave her alone. Then they leave them alone. And then pregnancy takes a whole toll on you. Some people are graced. Some people are not. And what I mean by that is, some are pregnant and they carry the pregnancy graciously.
Wow.
No hassle, nothing.
At ease.
They are comfortable making up. When I was pregnant, hey, it's a whole different experience that it took me, it made me make up my mind not to ever judge any lady I see pregnant because already she's going through enough. Even if she made a mistake, even if the girl is a teenager, because I've been through that phase and I knew what happened to me, what it did to me. I'm not going to blame any girl because that pregnancy is enough punishment for her.
Wow.
That's how I felt. That when I see anybody pregnant, the first thing that comes to my mind is she's going through a lot. Because your body goes through a different level of changes that you did not envisage. So I tend to tell women, prepare your mind. Some people are saying the perspective people are now sharing online is scary. I don't even think I want to have a baby. Well, if you are the type that values family and you want to have a baby, please go ahead. But go ahead prepared with the right mindset, which I think this book is pointing to. And I believe everyone should get it. So number one thing I'm going to advise a new mom is to get all the help. I got help. And despite that, it still took a toll on me. So get all the help. Don't be, I don't want my mom, she's too local. You can create boundaries. Tell them what you want. Stand your ground, but believe me, you would love it if you get the help. Somebody, you're not waking up to cook, your husband is the office type and he's going to work, and you still want to wake up. Even if he's going to help, he can't help. Because you are human, you've been doing it all along, and then a new cute baby is just sitting there. And all the baby wants is 101% attention. Which you cannot give because you're not God. So it's going to take a whole deal on you, your psyche, your emotions are going to be. If somebody stares at you too much, you think they are staring at you just because you're a mom, and you're like, well, what is it? But if you are well rested, you had a nice nap, and somebody is just with the baby, maybe you can even pump and let the babies eat and be filled, and they are asleep, and you can also sleep. Then by the time you are awake, hello, everybody is seeing you, you are gracious, and they say, are you sure this woman just gave birth? She has support. So one advice I'm going to give to a new mom is get all the help that you can. Oh, thank you.
Wow, what are you waiting for? Me, I've laughed a lot though. Okay, from what she had just said now, if you will pick, and if you forgot the baby, you got distracted along the way, don't forget this one. Get all the support. All ends, get them. You can't do it all by yourself. Like as you've explained now, and there's another question I want to chip in from what you said. You said there will also be a time that your parents will be around. They want you to do this way because you also need their experience. But I've also seen where there are clash of knowledge when it comes to training. So So once mom is around, you're saying do it this way, this one this way, and you're in the middle as a new mom. Because there are some people also going through that and they need advice.
Yes.
So how should they balance things?
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
You see, one thing, there is no one straight jacket. That's my perspective about life, about how to do things.
Okay.
For instance, there are new couples who got married and they are living in, let's say, a room and a parlor, a single room apartment.
Okay.
It may not be logical for them to have both mothers around and probably siblings around.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
husband.
Exactly.
That may even add to your stress.
Mm.
So your situation at times matters. And as Christians, we say wisdom is profitable
To direct.
To direct.
Exactly.
In my own circumstance, for instance, I didn't stay in my place for the first 6 weeks after birth.
Oh wow.
Yes. My parents stay in Lagos. I newly moved to Ibadan after I got married.
Okay.
And thankfully, 10 months after my wedding, I was pregnant. Even before I delivered, my husband was not staying at home during weekdays. So he
Wow.
comes home only on Friday nights and goes back to work very early on Monday.
Wow.
We were both inexperienced, even though we laid our hands on different books and we could read up some things. But you know, your body is your body.
Mm.
There are things that are peculiar to you that only you understand.
Yes, yes.
And because your parents are your parents, they can take your excesses.
Mm.
And some of us are blessed with in-laws too, who can take our excesses.
Exactly.
So that's why I said your situation is peculiar. And you know we have different backgrounds and settings and things that may come up. So my own situation, few weeks to my birth, I traveled to my parents' house. It's spacious, enough rooms, enough people around. My mom has apprentices who can attend to us.
Wow.
So I went there, I delivered my baby via CS.
Wow.
And after my birth, we did our naming ceremony in my mother's house.
Ooh.
My husband traveled down, brought all the things we needed. My mother-in-law traveled down,
Wow.
and they came. That's why I said there are peculiarities to families.
Exactly.
There are some people who will stand their ground and say, no, he's our first son.
Mm.
Then we have to do it in my husband's
yes,
house.
yeah, what's it called?
So that's why I said, there's no one straight jacket to do it this way.
Mm.
No. Your situation will give rise to how you attack situations the way they come.
Mm.
So, yes, you have to just work with what you have.
Wow.
So when I delivered, I had to stay back. My mom could take care of me the best way she can. I wasn't cooking. I wasn't washing. All I would do, I wasn't even bathing my baby. So imagine the kind of rest I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
I would wake up. She would be in my room by 6 a.m. They would bathe the baby. All I was doing was just picking out clothes. And once I pick out clothes, my baby will be here. He will sleep from before 7 a.m. till about 11. So even if I don't sleep all through the night, I could still sleep.
Exactly. And children are different.
And they will put him close to where I could see him.
Another one can be.
I would bathe, and my food is ready. Eat. There's Jen. Put on the TV. Just cross my leg.
Relax.
And people will just come in. Just looking so beautiful. They didn't know what my husband would sacrifice.
Mm.
They didn't know what other people. I didn't care what anybody was going to say.
Oh, wow.
Because these things, this stress we put on ourselves, can cause postpartum depression.
Mm.
Where you are doing so much at the same time and it's taking a toll on your mental health. And then you break down. And then you are asking yourself, why did I even bring this child to this world? Am I even capable of doing this? Am I even ready? And your husband talks to you and he's irritating you. Like, if you put me in this situation, why did I? And it's not your fault. There are hormones racing through your body.
True, man.
There are situations around. Not forbid you are broke. But even if you are broke and you are with your mother, you are not doing subscription, you are not doing anything. You are just there surfing the internet and the moment your baby, even when they want to carry it, you are the one that say, let me touch this baby, I'm the one that bets this baby now.
Yeah.
Because you are getting enough rest. So I want to tell us, in such circumstance, your situation matters. Make the most of it. And you are the one to know, okay, this is how I can get enough rest.
Exactly.
I knew if I went to my parents, I was going to get enough rest. If I went to my mother-in-law, she's the busy type who will probably not have my time. And I don't have the space at that time to house them coming to me. So I did what was wise in my circumstance at that particular time.
Wow. That was a lot in small. That was a lot.
Mind blowing.
Striking. So we can hear, we heard that clearly that sometimes it's not like there is a particular formula to this thing, because the situation you might find yourself in and the kind of people that surround you is different from the one that will surround me. And so that's also, it also makes it different in how to tackle whatever happens. So we must be able to utilize the situation wisely, and also don't forget to always get help. So the next question we have here, ma'am, is we are going to be sharing it. Everybody's going to be talking about this thing. Well, let me just do justice to some of these questions first. The next question on the list here is, what's the most challenging aspect of motherhood that you've experienced, and how did you overcome it?
Thank you. I'm still going through motherhood because I don't think parenting is a job you get done with. So it does not have a time frame where you get to rest. You get to rest when you have left this place. Even because our own parents are still worrying about us. But
It's tried differently at the first time.
yes, I know. I'm just laying the background.
Yes.
So the first time, I am a lawyer. I was working in a busy law firm. Even while the pregnancy was dealing with me, I was still going to work.
Wow.
I like being busy, so I was busy. The challenge I had as a new mom was not even with the baby and the situation. It was because I was, let me say, dormant for a while. I used to be busy and going out, buy things, shop. I like it. Then I have a baby with me. After resting for about 6 weeks, I came back to my house and it was just me and the baby. And the dad will have the opportunity of going out. And I will be like, why am I stuck with this child? It was like that. So it was a challenge. And how I overcame it was, I told myself, I just had to remind myself, it was not as if the ability was taken from me, but this is a price I have to pay for bringing a human to this planet.
A nation.
And I don't have the resources like some people do, like hiring helps. Let me take my baby with me. I don't have a business of my own. I still work. Do I have the resources to start my own firm? Not yet. Am I even ready? Not yet. What do I do? Then I told myself, this is for a limited time. So the moment I told myself it was for a while, the moment my son was enrolled in school, I went back, job hunting, and I got a job, and I got my fire back. So that was the challenge I had. Staying at home, doing nothing. That was the only challenge I had. And how I overcame it was telling myself my reality. It's not because I'm being punished, it's just because of the circumstance, and this is the price I have to pay. It's a consequence for being a mom, which in my situation I had to deal with, and it's just for a limited time. And I went back.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Accept the reality. Accept it.
Everything you say
Is in line.
is
Oh!
because you need, as a woman, as a parent, you need to understand that approaching issues and being realistic with yourself will help you in no small measure to be able to balance your thought process. It's easier for you to want to reason the reality away and then just make it look as if, well, it's just a child I gave birth to. I should still be able to continue in my old ways. Immediately you give birth, everything changes.
Yes.
Everything. Then it's now your prerogative to ensure you find a way to rearrange your life in such a way that you can still get the best out of yourself while being effectively able to accommodate the new life that you have brought into your picture. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The child is an entity on her own. and is a life.
Mhm.
Now, this life that you have brought is going to impact your life.
Mm.
And it is not something you can reason away.
Mm.
So because it is not something you can reason away, it's going to be hurting, it's going to halt
Yes.
certain normalcy.
Mm.
What you have originally assumed to be normal
Yeah.
will change in such a way as to accommodate the new life
Yes.
that you have brought. So, understanding that pattern of life, that system that you have accustomed yourself to in time past will not work effectively anymore just because of that little, as we'll see it, little change that has occurred in your life. A lot of people find that very difficult to come to terms with.
Mhm.
So because of that, your perspective of life
Yeah.
may have difficulty calibrating it, because you'll be wondering what is so special. But no, you have to come to terms
Yeah.
that, hey,
Accept the reality.
this is it.
Mm.
There is no running away from this. And since there's no running away, from this, let me figure out how
How?
to walk around it.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I think this next question is one that many of us really need to know about, and is the aspect of what's the most valuable lessons you have learned from your own mother or a mother figure in your life. Some mother figures, they just tell you, "Ma worry, oh mother, it will be well, you will get pregnant, and then they didn't tell you that my own, no, I had pain here." You understand? My breast was heavy at some point. There were times I wanted to do some things, I couldn't do it. Okay, let me rush back to other questions that we have here, and this one to be. Did you get those words of experience from other people, like mother figures? Did they, like, was there any tutorial? If there's anything like that, tutorial. Did you get anything like that? And if yes, it didn't really help you in trying to pick some of those things. Of course, I can't say pick everything because not 100% of what they said will happen to you, but you might just see a trait, a little, and probably mother figure based on genetics and the likes and hair. So, did you get any?
I can't say I did,
Okay.
and I can't say I didn't.
Okay.
And that's why I'm happy that this book is here.
Oh,
And I will never get over the fact that it is written by a man.
yes. Yes.
Because it means you have paid so much attention to issues that women are going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to say is the advent of, everybody putting everything out on social media for people to learn. This is like a community. There is nothing like that. When you get pregnant, normal thing African people do is get married. The next stage is get pregnant.
Exactly.
Some people don't even tell you you may have delay.
Plenty delay on the end. I like it.
Then the unnecessary pressure starts. The rat race starts.
Pressure to online.
When I even got pregnant, I got married. First, I told my mom, I'm going to wait till 1 year. I want to enjoy this union with my husband. She's like, are you okay? Wait and do what? You're not waiting, no. Not knowing while I was discussing with her, I was already pregnant.
Ooh.
Another thing is, once you have made up your mind to want to be a parent, your mind, if there are windows, open everything, open the door. Let your mind be open. Because even when you have like a mentor to tell you, pregnancy is smooth, just eat with this, just eat that, just go in the sun in the morning. My dear, you may be shocked though.
Yes, sir.
Your whole pregnancy, there are some women. The thing is, learn, read. Don't be closed-minded. Don't say, this is how it happened to my mom. There are some women who would go to market. All those market women, they are very strong from conception till delivery. There are some who will be in the hospital. In and out, in and out. So I didn't really have that. My mom is a health practitioner. So I can't really say I didn't, because she would always chip in one or two things. What's wrong with you? I wanted to conceal my pregnancy, that by the time she would see me like this, maybe I'm 8 months gone. Nobody told me when I called. The day she called me, Mommy, I'm tired. I'm tired. I want to die. She was so scared because I didn't tell anybody I was pregnant. She was like, why are you tired? What's wrong with you? I'm pregnant. Oh my God. Isn't that difficult? She came down from Lagos to visit me.
Wow.
I took leave of absence at work. I went home and she just took care of me. No, nobody was telling me, you are not strong.
Wow.
Stand up, sit up. When it was that time, I was doing this. I was grinding
people can
with
be
my
like
hand.
that.
She accepted me the way I was.
Wow.
So they gave me long rope, laxity, long rope to pull. My own body. My brother would make jest of me and say, you really demonstrated every sign that was written in the book about how pregnant women would be. I really exhibited all those signs. I almost vomited my intestines out. If pregnancy could come out through my throat, I would have vomited in pregnancy. It was difficult for me. Very difficult. So I had, with knowledge, I was reading. I would go to my mom's library, pick up books, read. So when you have knowledge at times, it makes you to be, to relax and say, well, this thing is not strange after all.
Unnecessarily anxious.
Yes, unnecessarily anxious.
And you
So,
know,
that the
pressure.
pain is not there.
Exactly.
But because you are aware of what it could be.
Yes.
Yes.
One doctor I went
To
to
manage
was
the
CAD, the
situation.
first CAD I had. I was always spitting, my mouth spit. I was irritated with myself.
Wow.
And the doctor is a gynecologist. I said, please, how can this thing stop? I'm tired. And he just told me, it's just 9 months journey. Prepare your mind that this is a challenge and I am going to surmount it.
Yes.
And from that day, I accepted it.
Wow.
I accepted the pain, the struggles, and everything. Well, I'm looking forward to this
Ending.
It's going to come one day, and I would be at peace.
Exactly.
And that was it.
Wow. If you are here, if you're still here with us, come on, drop that favorite emoji of yours. Let us see that you are getting. And please, are you getting value? I'm not supposed to ask this question because I know that you have gotten enough value. But let me just still get your feedback. Are you getting value? Are you enjoying your time here live? It's a pleasure to have you here, and of course, we are grateful for the gift of you. Thank you for staying tuned, and we want you to keep staying tuned. Okay, let me rush back to other questions that we have here, and this one is to be addressed by Mrs. Folashade Mayowa. So I want her to be very much available right now to attend to this question that we have here. Now, the next question we have here is, what's your go-to self-care activity? No, because when people are pregnant or when they deliver a baby, they stop paying attention to themselves. How did you undo that? Can you tell us your go-to self-care activity? How you manage that? Because look at you now. Oh, you are not even looking like the baby has. See, this is what me I want. This is how I want it to be for me as well. What encouragement or what advice or what helped you? Yes, you can.
Okay, so hello.
No. They would like
I'm
to see your
behind
face.
the camera.
No. She's behind the camera.
Come on, show your
She's our technical crew, but no.
Before you bring her up,
Okay.
I would like to appreciate her, my wife.
I will stand up this one.
You know, she has been amazing. Ola Shade Mayowa. ESQ. You know, the motivation behind the book.
Wow.
You know, the inspiration behind the book is she as a matter of fact, she has been a very important part. A very important part of the book. The entire process. At times, a man, you tend to want to assume that you are complete in every dimension, especially when you are the type that don't really like to lean on others for help. You know, but she made me see certain aspect of my life where I cannot help it, but accept help in those areas, like advertising, you know, multimedia, and all these other medium where a lot of young and vibrant generation are well aware of now, which some of us still find it extremely challenging and Herculean task to handle. So please make welcome with joy in your heart and celebration. My beloved
Thank you so much. She asked how my go-to routine. The truth is there's nothing.
Self-care.
There's really nothing in my self-care routine. I don't have any. The only thing that I do is it's one day at a time. I don't push myself too hard, because the truth is, at least I have this friend of mine here, Best. She was with me through the journey of pregnancy, so she saw me in person through my pregnancy. When I was pregnant, and then from first trimester I was lucky, no stretch mark, nothing. I was just glowing. People were like, wow, you're beautiful, you know. I was feeling fly. And then third trimester, I think 8 months, I just woke up that morning, and then my stomach, I just saw, there was not even light stretch mark, it was black.
And she started crying.
I was crying, like I was literally shedding tears, like what? I didn't want to go to class that day. I was crying that, wait now, they told us to use coconut oil to rub your stomach so that they won't be stretched. I have been doing all those things so that there won't be stretch mark. And then my hips, there was black stretch mark, my stomach, my navel, they were tiny, like tiger skin. I was just crying. Till now, they are still there.
God, I beg.
Because the truth is, it was so hard. I remember calling my husband that morning. I was like, hey.
It's a cry for me. It was hilarious.
I was crying, and she was just laughing. But they didn't know how much it meant to me, because I had stretch mark when I was younger, and it was tough for me to like get to accommodate my body that, okay, this is how my skin is. So now I've done that phase. I have overcome it. I'm confident in my body again. And then like a greater force, bigger than the former, now came back with. So it was hard for me to like come back to love myself. So even when I gave birth, so I think another challenge I had after birth was stomach. My stomach was big, and people were always. I had flat tummy before pregnancy, like very flat, and people used to like acknowledge it. Wow. So imagine now I've given birth, and then the next thing people were saying is, this your stomach is still big, oh. Are you not pressing? It was tough. I was just like, people should just stop. Like, can everybody just stop talking about this thing? But they're not saying it because they hate me. They wanted it to go down because they knew how I was before. They were actually concerned.
But
the more they were
magical.
the more they were saying it, the more it was hurting me. It was making me feel less confident in my skin. Anytime I go out, I was always trying to look for a trouser to, tight jeans to press my belly. So there's really no go-to routine, because I think there was a time, I think my husband is a witness, when I started doing workouts, trying to get the stomach to go flat, and well, eventually, maybe tomorrow we'll start again. It worked. It did work, but there was no consistency from my side. Because as at now, I am still not so confident. That's the truth. He is my witness. Sometimes I still stand in the mirror and I'm like, when is this stomach going to go down? When is my stretch mark going to disappear? Like, I just wish all these things can go back to how it was. But the moment I realized that, okay, I think he even said that to me, was like, you're not even the same person that you were before. So do not expect to be that person again. So I think my own go-to routine, if that is what we call it, is that I have accepted the fact that this is a new me. And I cannot be my old self. My own point is just be happy. If you are happy, I feel if you are really happy, the joy will flow through you. It will flow in your skin, it will show in your body, it will show in your countenance, it will show in the way you dress, because you just want to get dressed and party, dress like you are going to a party, even when you are going to no party. You understand? So there's really no routine. It's just be happy, take each day as it comes.
Con.
If there's a challenge, there's sometimes that exactly. I don't.
It will reflect to your
To
very,
your clothes.
to
That's
your
the
very
truth.
appearance.
That's the
It will
truth.
reflect
So there's no
your
right
mind
place,
is
yes.
in
So
the right
I'm free
place.
to go back to.
So
Yeah,
I'll
behind the
just
camera.
taking this from the book.
Oh,
It
okay,
says
please, let's listen.
Everything she's been talking about is what I call irreconcilable difference. It's going to happen to the woman body if you are going to go through that process of giving birth, getting pregnant to the point of giving birth. It's going to happen. There's no escaping it. So just see it as a sacrifice that you are making to achieve a very key part of your essence, and pretend that it is still business as usual, projecting false evaluations of themselves to people around them. The problem with this type of mindset is that such woman is always getting an idea later or too early. What do I mean? Because your mind is not in the right place. But to get your mind in the right place, you have to come to terms with the reality.
The new reality, yes.
So they either arrive too early or too late. Hence, the serenity prayer. God grants me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things I can.
Yes.
And wisdom to know the difference.
Exactly.
When there's no way you want to there's no way you will you so easily forget
The past.
the past, how you used to slay, how you carry yourself, and how everything was so convenient, if I can use that word.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, you now get to realize that I think this is the reality now. I think I'm stuck with this child. It's not like this journey is going to take me 9 or 8 months, like they have tricked me to believing when I was pregnant. As a matter of fact, the task even got more tougher.
Exactly.
Because now that I've given birth, I can't even, unlike before where I can look for a particular sleeping position and be okay. Now there's no sleeping position,
No escape.
no escape, no resting time, unless you get creative about it and find a way to squeeze out time to earn rest for yourself.
Your cell phone.
And this is not going to end anytime soon, because immediately you get to that stage where you deliver the child, you move to parenting. Parenting is now like a more senior and advanced
Level.
Like a PhD.
PhD after your masters. Trying to conceive in BSc.
BSc
The
share.
pregnancy period is your master.
The master,
And
then parenting,
PhD.
PhD, Jeremy. We are even going to school in a school. Like everything is just.
So you are going to get to that crossroads where it's either you accept or you lose your mind. So if you have made up your mind and have accepted that this is something you must do, it means that you are going to go through that process of getting pregnant and giving birth. And getting pregnant and giving birth will not leave you the same way you are going to be shaking. All your entire system will be on overdrive for that good 9 months, which means certain votes. So
Sorry,
because of that,
there's the essence here. There's not essence, the essence.
because of that, if you are going to go through that stage, expect, when you are aware that something is going to happen to you, when they start happening, you won't be greatly shaking.
Exactly.
Because you understand.
Prepare your mind.
Expect that an irreconcilable difference will happen to you, especially in your body. So I'm going to read out now. It says, I can even say it's at that point that your healing starts. Of course. You know, you can change your daily routine,
Of course.
your past routine that has become something comfortable to you, that you have built your life around. Those are things you can change. You cannot change the fact that you are now a mother. Will you sell your child? It boils down to you accepting that, hey, this change has come.
It don't happen.
And it's
No,
not
no.
it is not going away.
It is
anytime
what
soon.
it is. Thank you. Oh my God. We are getting close to wrapping it up, and I know that you have been getting value.
Am I beginning to get too serious? Am I?
See, even if you're getting too serious, the serious is for our benefit because we are getting
Serious business.
it's a serious business. So now the next question we have is what's the best way you have found balance? How have you been able to balance your personal? I'll be directing this question to you now. How have you been able to balance your personal life with your responsibilities? Because yes, of course, bearing children is a huge responsibility. So how are you able to balance? Okay, like you said, you are working.
Yes.
You understand? So you are still going to. You're a lawyer. A lawyer will go to court, and has she been able to? If you know lawyer, she see that their encyclopedia kind of books, those bulky books.
And big files.
And big files with so much preparation to cases like reading wide research. How have you been able to balance your personal life with those responsibility at home?
Well, I'm not going to talk as if I have it all figured out. Because most of the time people come out to portray perfect job.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm always a preacher of do what works for you. Do what works for you. In the term of knowing how many children you can handle. Now you have one, you are a parent now. You are dealing with one. Before you got married, maybe you are the dreamer. I want to have 6 children. I just love children. I just love children. Because you are not in the reality yet.
Yes.
Now that you are in the reality, probably during pregnancy, is it this easy? Well, I can have 4. Then the parenting starts, come here, come back, don't eat this, don't that, she's hot, can't you see it? The hospital run and everything.
Oh, good.
I don't think I'll be able to cope. Because you still have your hopes, aspirations,
Exactly.
your dreams.
Yeah.
And that should not stop because you are a mother.
Yeah.
Some people, being a mother is their success.
Yes.
And it is
It's
valid.
enough for them, yeah.
Some people want to have it all, which you can also have. You can be a mother, be a career person, and still grow.
Unbalanced things, yes.
So how to balance them depends on you. You can have time, routine, wake up, the type of job you have. For instance, there's no place I've worked that I will not tell them and factor in the fact that I am a mother. I don't work on Saturdays for anybody. If I'm working, it's for myself. Because some place will tell you to come on Saturdays, you still have to come in on Sundays, and then you leave, you've closed by 7.
Exactly.
Where I'm currently working, when I got there, please, I want to work here and say, well, they are closing, they start work by 7:30 and close by 7. Well, please, can you accommodate me? I am a mom, and I don't have so much help to depend on, and I don't even want to leave my responsibilities so much for people.
Yes.
Can I close by 5? The proximity of my workplace to my house is about 45 minutes. So before 6, I am home. To take my son from school, and then we are home. I still have about 2 hours, 3 hours before he sleeps to cook, we talk together. That time, I still have to bond with my child,
Exactly.
to still tell him 1 or 2 things, do's and don'ts, instill values. I still have those times to keep to myself. So it's still you trying to work around your situation, your peculiar situation that is peculiar to you.
Wow. See, if there's anything I'm noticing about the answers to some of the questions that have been, it's the fact that there is a link and there is one constant factor, which is accepting the reality. If you have not come to terms to accept that reality, it will be very hard for you to put all these questions all together, like to put it to work for yourself. It will be very hard for you to even appreciate yourself and also grow that self-esteem, self-confidence while you are at it, being responsible for family and also handling your personal life. So please and please, if there's anything I want you to take home after this session, it is the fact that whatever situation or phase you find yourself, the most important thing you should do first is to come to terms with that reality.
There's something I would like
Okay.
to point our attention to. I don't know if it's an error that I made in this book, but though I apologize at a point in the book, notice a trend,
Okay.
and it is that women find it easy and fun to poke fun at their fellow women, and this is more peculiar to older women. I don't know if for any reason they have forgotten about their own period when they went to the pregnancy journey.
Experience, yes.
Or theirs was more graceful.
Like she said, graceful.
The feedback she's getting from what she's seeing in the pregnant women she's seeing around her irritates or annoys or offends her, especially when it comes to doing things that requires a lot of people to compete for, like registration and things like that. And you see that this person is pregnant. In fact, what we would have assumed to be normal will be like, let's give preference to the pregnant women who are on the queue, right?
Yeah.
It always works when the person in charge is a man. It becomes another case entirely when the person
exactly. Yes,
wow.
yes, that's true.
Why? There are also kind females too.
There are also kind females. We can't fault that, but
it's just in the nature of women. That's why I think to be jealous
Of each
other. Not everybody,
Yes, exactly.
but they feel that if it's not me, it cannot be any
you.
other person.
Yes.
It should be me. So they have this selfish
Self-centeredness, innate.
nature in them that when you even see somebody that passed and the person is beautifully
Exactly.
dressed and everything, you're like, it's all fake.
Or the time that they say it's a man that gets
Exactly, they'll be like, that one Aaron's babe, I beg, nothing they happen, that one. Because they feel that if it's not them, no other person can be better than them. So when they see a woman that looks very ugly, they'll be like, this one pregnancy, see how you go, that kind of thing. They'll be like, because it's not them, they believe that, see, I'm the perfect person, as far as I'm concerned. So women tend to get favor from men more often than getting favor from their fellow women. It's an innate characteristic.
Really talk about actually.
it's becoming more dangerous now. Why am I saying that? Women are becoming more involved in administrations, in places of power, in places of influence. What will this do? What will the effect of this be on because
Younger
there will always
generation.
have pregnant women, and we hope that things become more easier for them.
And that's why we have you. So you have to write another book on that.
One thing is, number one, we are advancing.
Yes.
And with advancement comes its own responsibilities and consequences.
Yeah.
In those days, when women get married, there's something they call omoyawo. That is hell.
Yes.
Okay.
We follow you.
But we don't pay attention to those things. We think they are local.
Yeah.
The Igbos, when they get married, they have somebody that will follow her.
Yeah, the
Yes.
one, yeah, because they
I don't know what they call
women.
But a young lady who the husband will not be responsible for. They will be training her, maybe put her at a skill, learn a skill or trade. By that time, she becomes a woman of herself too. But these days, we are educated. My child can't go. You want to use her and do house help.
Exactly.
Those things. Then, it is now that women are accepted by expressing their emotions.
Yes, 100%.
There was something, I don't know if it's allowed on this platform. A woman was talking. I went to make my hair. Then I think she's somebody in a place of authority where people come to report to her, like a past stress or something like that. Then she was reporting the story that a man came and talked about the wife coming home and telling him that, how come she does not come?
Oh.
And they all started make this, they were laughing about it.
Wow.
And she said something that really made me like, Ogun Malogun, come, it was what they call. They don't know. Unfortunately for him, he's married to a woman who knows or who has been exposed to that truth. And now she wants to experience it. She does not know. She too, she has half knowledge. She does not know what it is. So that sort of thing may happen with pregnancy. Where women are not allowed to express themselves. Where you say, I don't even know what is wrong with me. Some people don't know what is mommy brain. When you're pregnant.
You forget something.
Mommy, you forget. Then we have to what's your name? And
Yeah,
you're
Like you go to the kitchen to pick up something and
you are looking
for why am I here? My mom experienced.
when you come out, because your mom experienced it, she said it to you. She didn't conceal it. So she expressed it. That expression is lacking in those advanced women. And when you say, well, you have had 2, 3 and you want to stop, somewhere I say, mommy, I be 13. Why can't you have 6? More be any God or be you. Those kind of things are limiting us. But when this is a community now, Mrs. Maya is sharing her experience. We are telling people who are not even experienced. You can be bold to call her, babe, I'm pregnant though. She's not going to judge you. Because she has been through that journey.
Exactly.
And she's vocal about her experience.
Exactly.
So you think it is not, you now know it is not alien. So somebody has to feel this way. Who has come out publicly to say, well, this is how I felt. It's not strange. So, and somebody who didn't go through all those rigors too, and she gave birth, and things didn't go out the way she has planned, and she is also vocal about it, she's public about it, you can always call us, my baby. So when we talk in the office with Miss Falasha, because we are in the same place, and she's always like, you need to see what my baby is doing. And I say, don't worry, just in that stage, because I am open about it, I'm not making her feel less of a mom. Where is your baby? Some people have picky eaters as children. They make it the fault of the woman. So it's the fact that we don't really talk about our experience. Women are meant to suppress their emotions, suppress their experiences, and then make them feel always lesser. I think that's responsible for why most women, I did it. And they bullied her to accept those things that she was going through and make it irrelevant. She's like, if I can go through it, if you are going through it, it's not a big deal. So those things are the things that I feel are responsible for the way some women react to other women that are pregnant.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Like she has said, it's very important to be vocal about our experiences. It doesn't make you less of a woman if you express your difficulty, your weakness, your pains. When you go through a particular stage, it helps others coming behind. You know, it makes them to be better positioned.
Thank you very much, sir. So the summary of it all is that when people say everything, we are quick to give pass judgments about the government. Every small thing, the society did not give us platform to do this thing. The government do this, the government do that. From what we just said now, it just simply states that we can also help the society to be better by being vocal with our own truth. I experienced, this is my own experience. Just in case someone is having similar experiences as yours, you've helped them to overcome it just by speaking, like being vocal about it.
Watch Fola pregnant from, let's say, from the second trimester till she gave birth, and I was able to understand what pregnant women go through. I cannot say I learned from my mom, because my mom was powerful, hardworking. When she gave birth to her last child, we went to the market, we walk around, and I left to school school and she called that she had given me. I'm like, madam, will you stop joking? We just left the market. How come? She gave birth at home. She gave birth at home to that last child. And I'm like, then I went to law school and I saw Fola. She cannot lie down well. When she eats, her stomach starts to alter. And I'm like,
difference in experience.
and I'm like, you just have to.
And
Person to person.
from what I've observed, older generations find it easier.
Oh no, I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
Or
Not
what it is
everybody.
now,
Not
I don't
everybody.
know.
Not everybody. Not everybody is the older generation. I
We're already
differ
having
on
fun
that.
here. And I hope
Because
you're having it virtually.
because it's
Because
not
we have
everybody. I
fun.
still have somebody in the older generation that gave birth, and she didn't have fun. It wasn't fun for her. She had to give birth to her. The first set of children, they were twin. Then the second one was just one. She went through CS. It wasn't
For both.
Yes, for the both pregnancy. It wasn't easy. That's my mom's younger sister. Not late.
Some people
Normal.
have
Normal.
experiences
So-
different.
So I watched Fola and I'm like, oh, so this is what pregnancy is about. And I'm like, Mama, are you sure I want to do this? Because it wasn't easy. Then when she was breastfeeding, oh no, that was the highlight. And I'm like, oh,
She was calling me a cow.
I can't do this. And I'm like, no. Yeah, I get, now I understand. After staying, listening to Mrs. Mary talk about it, and from the book, and I'm like, oh, okay, oh. And you might not experience that.
You might not.
You might not, and you might, but then I've come to realize that from this session that when you accept your reality as early as possible, you go through the pregnancy stage and you're like, oh, okay, I can do this, I can do that kind of thing. So thank you for this book. I'm still waiting for part 2, part 3, part 4. I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much, Brent. So yes, while we are at it, we have some amazing people that work with. Woo! Come on. Now the person of Mr. Toby in the building. This time, and of course, this Pelumi in the building.
This part is very important. He is an experienced dad.
Whoa!
He has 3 in his arsenal.
Come on.
And
Where you going? Come on, come on, wine.
oh, hello. You know what we're talking. So she's an experienced mom as well. And as a matter of fact, some things that she'll be able to explain more because she has gone through that stage before. And right now she's also into some other stage that she's going to be able to maybe eat some nail on the head
Yes.
more.
And we are waiting. Like, we want to receive it all because we're yet to learn. Yes,
From
we
the
have
wealth
of
of
knowledge. Exactly. Mr. Toby, sir, I know that you are like we've had a brief of your profile, and we know that you are also good at this game. We would like you to share with us the things that you have learned so far that you think would be of help to us. Many people watching us live, and as well be the single parent. So the floor is yours, sir.
Alright, thank you.
Come on.
Yeah, so I'd like to start with
Okay.
the fact that no single child, when it comes to parenting, no single child is the same. No matter how closely invested them, like I bet this one this year and then just a year difference, I'm getting another one. Even if they have a very, very close age, or even if they are of same age, or twins, they can be so different. And parenting is more like learning on the job, where you have to start, measuring how you do things to get one particular type of result. Like if you want to be strict, you know how much strictness you want to apply, how much pressure you are applying per child. This particular child This one needs this kind of approach. This other child needs this kind of approach. Something like that. So it's never the same. It's always like learning. Nobody knows best.
Exactly.
You only get better at it because of the things you learn, the things you see, the things that your children lay on you, so you know how to react. What I like to tell people is what your child, the phase your child is going through right now, is not a solid definition of who they become.
Exactly.
It is how you manage them through that phase and the understanding that they get to have about that phase. That is what makes them. In the sense that now, for example, while many of us went to university, people joined cults, people were church goers, some people were just there, they were not really going to church, they were not really joining bad gangs and all that, but they were just there, and then some were just focused on their academics. And you then realize that no matter how much their parents, probably like, fine, it depends on how, the kind of pressure the parents applied while we were trying to bring these people up. There are some children that, as soon as they are out of their parents' house, they just turn a new leaf. Not because the parents did not try their best, but because I think maybe the parents didn't understand them better to handle or to like
I was using
the
same
best way,
approach for all
exactly,
the children.
something like that. Me, if for anything, I'm very, very different from my siblings. I know that because I have a very different lifestyle. I'm outgoing, I'm always out there. My siblings are not like that. I'm the last one, right? But my own siblings are more reserved than I am. And we're raised by the same parents, right? And I don't think it was because they didn't do a perfect job. It was just the kind of nature that each and every one of us had while we were growing up and the exposure. And then another thing that I would say might have affected how I kind of like became a bit different from my siblings was because of the age gap. I'm 5 years away from my immediate elder brother. And growing up with them didn't really seem much like I was growing up with siblings. Yes, I love them, right? If they are my siblings and I see them as that. No one else comes that close in terms of say this relationship with my siblings. But while growing up, I made more friends outside that were within my age group.
Exactly.
Do you understand? And because of the kind of parents that I have, I was able to filter what is good, what is bad, what is too extreme.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
There's no child on earth that would have not at some point tried something that was bad.
Yes. Yes.
Now,
I agree.
bad is a relative measurement. What I see as bad might just be on the surface for you.
Yes.
But
yes. Yes.
generally,
yes.
generally, so speaking of on a societal scale, there are things that average. This is people will just term it as bad, right? Average people will just term. So what I'm trying to drive at is, as a parent, you just have to learn to study your child, learn to understand how they process things, and then as soon as you get to learn that, you start to see the best possible way to guide them in a good path. Do you understand? So you have absolutely no idea who your child is talking to in school. You have absolutely no idea what your child does between closing hour and when they get home. Do you understand? There are a lot of gaps that you will never see. You will never, you can never think of it. You will never think that my child, after school, probably my child goes to a gaming center to play game. Especially if the child is smart enough to ensure that he manages the time well.
Exactly.
And then, you get, so all those things. Now that's a child that will that fears his parents and tries to avoid their parents, just issues. But this same child wants to play game. This same child wants to talk to friends. This same child wants to hang out with his or her friends. Like after school, that small time is just worthwhile for them. Not necessarily that they are out doing something bad, but as a parent, you are more concerned that after school, you are more concerned about that. What you start to see is trouble, problem, issue. What if my child gets kidnapped? What if he gets? Those are the things that a parent starts to think. But on a child's perspective, oh mommy, I just dey play game. As we play game finish, I go carry one bike, I don't reach my junction. But that is valid worry. Do you understand? So as a parent, imagine now maybe a particular day you find out that your child has actually been going somewhere after school, and then you want to start doing something more strict. You start probably you place a teacher over them to watch that. Okay, as soon as the child closes from school, the child comes home straight. And a good child that is very, very corrigible, a child that listens to the parents, will adjust. It's just that the child will still always look for a time to relive that moment with friends.
Exactly.
Because that moment is actually worthwhile and fulfilling for them. Do you understand? Now you have to make them understand that, okay, if you don't launch a I don't have a problem with it. But you need to start considering the safety. You talk about all of those things. That okay, what if there's someone that maybe some people are looking for someone that is bad? Those are the kind of scenarios that your parents will paint for you just to ensure that you understand that it might not be safe to go there often or all the time. Do you understand? So from something like that, you start to your child. Once your child sees that okay, your parents. Once your child understands that their parents now sees this part of them, they want to start living that part of their life in accordance to what their parents will be okay with, at least on this one, like will be okay with. So like me, I don't know much, but I think as a father, if my child were to probably like to hang out with friends after school or something like that, I'll be more concerned about reducing that time. Because I believe in interpersonal relationship a lot. I think it helps our children. The only thing is, your child will always go out there. But once they come back into your house, you start to be engineered in the best way possible. That's just it. So no matter how strict a parent wants to be, a child that will make a mistake, a costly one or a grave one, that will come back to affect the parent, might still end up making that mistake because the parent never really understood what was pushing that child to do what it is that he or she has been doing. So do you understand? So basically it's like that, and then it's different from every child. That's why you say parents say, well, when you think about look at you, you're just doing anyhow. But you never understand, because that will be like, I'm different from my brother. My brother does not even like to go outside. But me, I like to go outside. Do you understand? And it doesn't mean I'm a bad person. And it's just what I want. But then if I'm able, as a parent, if I'm able to help them now, guide them better, and then make them see that okay, you can still live this life, but then you have to always put everything in moderation. Do you understand? Then they get better at it. They start to understand what is safe and what is unsafe, what is good, bad, and what is too extreme. Exactly. Our kids now can operate iPhones and Android devices at the age of 4, 5. Do you understand? Now, the fact that they can operate these things, innocently, they might not know the extent to which they can use these things yet. But as soon as they start to grow and then they meet someone, and then you might never know, it might be someone's elder brother at home that is able to train that one how to access porn sites. That one comes to school, talks about it, shows someone, and then a child, once they see something that they like, they want to explore it further. And then that's just it. So I think it's important that parents learn to understand their children, each and every child that they have, and then know how to handle them differently.
Are you not clapping? Oh my God! That was the whole lecture. Thank you so much, sir. Really, I've learned a lot from this. It was really an immense discharge.
When she starts talking now,
Oh yeah, we want the brief right now. So far, the floor is yours. The floor is yours. I would like them to see you. I don't want to. Okay.
Alright, so just like my husband said,
Come on.
it's there are no playbook to parenting. You learn on the job. Exactly what he said, because if you think you know what you're doing, you don't. Find yourself googling a lot of things that you don't know or that you want to try because you are not sure if they are the right things to do or the wrong things to do. For me, parenting is it entails a lot of like you need to be actively involved in the growth and the development of your kids, socially, physically, spiritually, actually.
Yes.
And every aspect of your children's life, you have to be actively involved because you really can't tell you can't fill up the gaps because you're not always there. You drop them in school, you don't know what they are doing in school. You take them to church, you leave them in children's department, you don't know what's going on there. You don't know who they are making friends with, you don't know who they've spoken to. It could even be an adult. You don't know what they've picked from there, and then they come home and you see them do these things and you're wondering if it's maybe about you. Do you understand? And the only thing you can do is to correct them. Because they live with you. So you are the best person to let them know, oh, this is actually wrong. Oh, okay, this is okay. And then we do that. But I don't want to dwell much on parenting because I feel like he has touched most areas. So I'll take us back to pregnancy. Okay. Because that is another thing entirely. That's another journey entirely. Apart from all the symptoms that you experience, and it's different for every woman.
I would like to know something.
Yeah.
Is each pregnancy different? Like the feeling is different
For each person.
for each pregnancy?
Same
person.
Okay,
woman,
same person.
different
Yes.
child.
I'm pregnant right now, and this is my second child, and it's a different experience. I'm not far gone, but I can already tell the difference. It's yeah. The first one was it was more stressful. It was there was a lot of emotions involved, yeah, and then I had physical pain, and I know that my morning sickness then was worse than this one, right? And I didn't eat as much as I'm eating now. In the first one, I wasn't eating so much. This one, I'm eating.
So they
are different. In this one, I get a lot of headaches, migraine. That one, I'm not. I'm looking to right now, I'm having joint pain. It wasn't happening in the first one, so yeah, it differs. When the third one, I don't even know what I'm going to. Hopefully, we wait. So you really can't know. You can't tell. You can't predict. You just experience it. You're never ready for these things. Even people that plan their.
You're never ready for these things.
Yeah, and when I say you're not ready, I don't mean unwanted pregnancy situations. I mean like even people that plan their pregnancy, like people that go and take IVF and all of that, and know that okay, we'll fellow you once they are pregnant like this. It's like just like, a lot of things start to happen within your body. You start to experience a lot of symptoms. You think you're ill. In fact, you'll be so worried. You start to Google things. If your pee is yellow today and brown tomorrow, you start seeing cancer. Yeah, all those kind of things. Wondering, am I dying? It's just your body adjusting to this thing. So you need to be mentally prepared for this, because a lot of women are not mentally prepared. They might be physically prepared. You even see some of them start to drink a lot of things, take a lot of medications, and they think they are fine. But then they get depressed because they are stressed. Especially when it's your second child or your third child. Because you find yourself taking care of the first one, also trying to take care of yourself. And you're just overwhelmed. And that's why when you don't tackle that early enough, you give birth and then you start to hear postpartum depression. That will happen. And then you that gave birth to your child, you cannot stand your child. It starts from the onset when you didn't deal with that mental, aspect of it. So you need to be mentally ready, not just physically ready. And then when you've gone through that process, childbirth, hopefully, you do vaginal delivery. But a lot of people prefer that because people are scared of surgery. Personally, I prefer the operation.
There's actually a very, very, very popular misconception about cesarean section.
Yeah.
Which is the fact that, yes, we'll put the fact that it's probably, if it's not done right, it will be life-threatening. But statistically, it is less painful. In fact, it's not even painful at all. And ladies that I know who have breastfed children via both ways said it's the fastest to normal birth.
When you say it's less painful, because I know people who do this years and it takes time to recover. So what is it the injecting or is it the whole process that's not painful or the after effects? Because after the years, I've had some
when you are
It's not
sleeping,
painful.
I had one.
After you get
I had a C-section.
What do you mean by it's not painful?
the pain you feel is the pain of after surgery where your body
Yeah,
is healing.
yeah.
And it's just like when you have a cut on a normal, like a deep wound, and then it's the surgically stitch it and all of that. You feel that pain of healing from
So we need to
healing.
clarify because we also have people.
But a woman in labor trying to push will experience a pain several times more than someone who has to go through. And that is just a general misconception. And I understand the fact that we live in Nigeria where medical technology is not so advanced and people have some level of skepticism about having to do CS because safety and blah, blah, blah. But then it's just compared to normal childbirth, it's better. Like the people who have done both said they want. In fact, this lady told me that after her first CS like this, the second one that she had already booked CS. Like the first child was normal birth, the second child was CS, and then third child. She said she had to back and forth with her husband and said, "I need CS, the baby shield. I want CS." And the husband was like, "Are you not scared?" He said, "She's not scared. That she's better than a Marobi. That the pain is too much." And she went ahead with CS, third child, and she came out fine. The only concern is just
Because for me, I did not know I was going to have a CS, right? I went there hoping to just give birth naturally. I don't know, they call it natural. You know what I mean? Vagina, yeah. And then I got there. So I went through that procedure that people that want to give birth with the vagina go through before the doctors came and said, you know what, let's do, because I couldn't push that. I had a very small pelvis. That was the reason. So it wasn't a choice. It just, I had to go for that. So then what I experienced is something I would not want to try again. My next delivery, I just want to get to the hospital and say, "What's if I'm ready?" And then just cut me open and want to child. You don't want. So this was what happened to me then. Up to almost 10 times, like maybe 3 different doctors will come, wear gloves, stick their hands into your vagina, shoot the smallest one, the pinky finger, and then this, and then until they can put their whole fist in you. That is when they tell you, "Oh, you're ready to push." Now, for those times, you're having what you call it now, contractions, and then the contractions get even more intense each time. Like the next one is more intense than the next one, like that, and it continues that way until you're dilated like 10 centimeters, and then the whole fist is in. So imagine going through all that, and this takes hours. You could be there the whole day, just in pain, and then the doctor comes and tells you, "Oh, you're finally ready. You now enter phase 2 of pain." Then you start to push, and then sometimes your vagina will tear.
Because right now
I'm not trying to scare you.
I
I'm just
understand,
preparing
but
you have a tear in the vagina that you'll have to stitch afterwards.
You may not.
Most people do.
That's why.
Most people do.
This is why I'm always careful when you relating your birth experience. The reason is, she already said it earlier, we are different.
Yeah.
See all these things she's saying? I had a friend, I went to visit her, and the night I got there, her water broke. I encouraged her, let's go to the hospital. And we got to the hospital around 12 a.m. and she delivered before 6 a.m. First time mom. And all the pain she experienced, because I've seen several pregnant women in labor who deliver, and I already had that mindset that if I'm going to have my baby, it will start with this little pain, my water. Believe me, I didn't even know I was in labor.
Sure.
I was having
My water
contractions
didn't break.
and I was sitting. And each time they asked me,
I didn't experience breaking of water.
and each time the doctor would ask me, each time I go for, "Have you noticed anything?" And I'll say no. And I was having contractions. Why? I was not having the pain I was expecting to have. No pain at all. Until I was 6 cm dilated, I had no pain. I was sleeping.
I started to have pain when I was 6 years.
I
went to
the examination thing I didn't like, but the person that attended to me is a consultant who they have time. They won't just come each time maybe you are making too much noise, and then examine you and they say you're 3 cm. They know when to come. He
Were you
gave
in
me
a private
time.
hospital?
Some are
Yes.
not that professional.
Yes.
They just
Yeah.
each time
They will just
the
come
pregnant,
and be trying and
person,
be trying and be trying. And it's traumatic
complains
to go through that
or
experience.
make,
I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
know it's
a
dramatic.
sharp
The
sound
person
or
opposite me. So I was
come in
surrounded by
and
a lot
do,
of pregnant
tests
women
and
who were
measures,
trying to give birth as well. And then the one right directly opposite me had a tear. I could see her vagina in front of me.
They do
Like,
have
while
tears.
I was screaming for my own.
No.
And then I saw her and I became terrified, even more terrified than I
Because I
was.
think second birth, usually when mothers, get their first child and they get it, I think that subsequent births don't come with
Don't
tears.
come in here. That all my friends I know that have kids, they had it here. So to me, when I find someone who says, "Oh, I did not have
But
this,"
they
child,"
have a small baby. Some people have big needs to accommodate, and they have small baby. They are rooming. They say it that way that they are rooming, and it depends on the person that is attending to them. Some people are not patient enough. They just bring out the scissors and they are because of the noise and everything. They just tear them open and they bring out the baby and they leave you to battle with the tears and everything. Mine was CS, but I was in labor. I didn't even know.
wow.
And my mom was so surprised and she
The
was
lucky
like,
ones.
this is strange to her.
Very
Because she would say,
She met a friend of hers in law school too. She was from Abuja, AB. The lady drove, I think she was still driving to do some deliveries. And then at 7 p.m. she just said, Fala, I feel like I want to give it. And I'm like, okay, have you felt any pain since morning? She said no. But she just felt like the baby had not been kicking at me. So she just went to the hospital without the bag. And she got there and they told her that she's in labor.
Wow.
No, she was in
I used
active
to carry
labor.
my
And in
box
1
around.
hour, she gave birth.
Anywhere.
She was in active labor. She just felt like something was not right.
But
And
she
she was
drove
not
to
in
the
pain.
place.
She was still
Yes,
driving. So she was
yes.
like, I was like, just go to the hospital. She's like, she will get home first and pick her bag. I said, no, just go first. So she went to the hospital without a hospital. And how I was not had to
In
meet
my
her
case,
there.
I
And
usually
she
have
had-
my box in my boots.
Always.
Always. Especially when I was in my 9th month.
Exactly.
Stand
No
by
surprises.
there. So anywhere in Tapum, I would just drive. My box. I was prepared on that box matter. And that box was always in the boots, packed. It was ready.
Wow.
And then so when they told me, oh, I had a small pelvis, I had to go for this surgery to look for this, bring the paper and then you sign. Because I can't even bring the paper, and then we went, and it was over. And I remember I even slept up. They were trying to keep me awake. I was like, oh, I can't die. I'm alive. Just let me sleep. So I was sleeping and they were doing their thing. And then they woke me up and they were like, oh, see your baby, it's a girl. I did like this. I didn't even say thank you. I was like this. And then I slept back. The next time I woke up, I was already in the recovery mode. And the baby was next to me. And the only thing I was feeling at that point was just my brain because of the injection. So you just get back and they'll tell you not to sit up for some days or something, raise your head so that you don't. And then over time, all the pain you're feeling at that point will start to just time heals.
yes.
Exactly. So you get better afterwards, and then another phase, another journey begins. Then you start to worry. Is my baby breathing? Is my baby?
Is she alive?
Is she alive? No, me.
You're sleeping
Each time
too
you are
long.
checking,
You're
when the
sleeping
teeth
too long.
start, they are running temperature. Is it teething or is it malaria? Is it typhoid? That one, another phase.
There was an incident
Abdomen will heal. Another phase, you will nurture that one.
Just different stages.
All the aspects, and then all I say is just keep calm. Like I said, learn on the job.
That's it.
The reason why I'm going through all of this and sharing this experience is because I'm trying to emphasize on that mental preparation. It's important. A lot of people don't feel like, oh, I'm pregnant, okay, let's do it. No. Are you mentally prepared? Because you have to be. It's a lot. If you're not strong, it's actually a lot of work for your head. You could just get
A lot of things will mess with you.
Exactly. You start to worry. You start to, is my child okay? Is she teething or is it typhoid? Then when she starts to walk, let me tell you something funny. I thought my child had no legs. When she started to stand, her legs were brackets like this. I was worried. I said, these legs were straight before now. What happened? And then I thought she had bow leg. And I called her pediatrician. I said, no, it's straightening. I say, eh. And then when he started to straighten, I saw that it was straightening. Look, and I was like, but then I was going.
After all the, that's just the funny thing. After all the stress, you stress
And then
yourself
I
too
had a
hard.
friend, funnily enough, that just gave better period.
to about
They will tell you to go and do this thing. Use one soap to wash the leg.
And then you see some parents that worry that, oh, their child is not crawling on time. My child is not crawling yet. My child is not standing up. He's a year old. He's not walking. Relax. In due time. As long as you've had everything checked and the child is fine, relax. Come and crawl.
Exactly.
So just, be mentally prepared. Learn on the job. You will be fine. Just relax.
Woo!
Thank you.
I had to just breathe in and breathe out again. But
I
love the assurance. You will be fine. Just be calm and understand that you can handle. Just like we were saying before now, accept the reality. Accept it as it comes. And we know that at some point I would not tell, like, when I was hearing it, I was like, oh, God, I beg. But right now, I feel this peace that, don't worry, when the time comes, I'm going to be prepared mentally. We have heard, we have seen. Yes, for us that we are here physically, we have seen, we have heard. And then the most important thing is for us to hear later in testimony form, testimonials, that I read this book and it encouraged me, it helped me. In fact, it helped me mentally to prepare myself. I can't wait for us to start getting testimonials and reviews based on the book and also the lessons that we have learned today. And I hope it helps us all.